the LunaticRadio show, broadcasting on a Wednesday. What up, everybody? I'm Kieran. That is, oh my God. I got the whole switcheroo thrown in there. I looked up.
Hey, it's Chris.
I looked up at the damn screen, and it's, I was ready to say Chris Italia, and it's Ben Sparks, everybody. Wow.
How you doing?
Hey, how are you, Benjamin?
I got the guy that just set everything up. He goes, he asked why there's two mics. I'm like, oh, now we're busted.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Holy crap, Ben Sparks, everybody on the show. What up? What's going on, Benjamin? You look good, buddy.
Thank you, thank you. Well, this was Chris's idea last night, and it's we thought it would be pretty funny and just shock you. So
is he there, or did he just leave the show?
Right here, man. He's right next to me.
Yeah, this is a nice little switcheroo. That was Chris is always good at the radio trickery. I had no idea. I was looking down at my paper. I was looking down at my paper. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. I didn't know how he was going to do this. He brought it up last night at dinner, and then I was like, all right. And he's like, I got a great idea. We'll just pretend he's going to say, here's Chris, and it's going to be you on the screen. So pretty fun.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It's good to see you. Good to hear from you. Yeah.
I know. How you doing?
Yeah. I'm doing all right. I'm living, right. Ben. I'm living. LIVIN all day long. Yeah.
Living's good.
Yeah.
Not Luke Perry on me.
No Luke Perry, which is very scary.
Dylan! Oh, we're going to get into this at the top.
Dylan died, man. That's no good. 52 years old. Fucking, what was it? A stroke.
And massive stroke.
Not the kind of stroke that Michael Jackson did with the 7-year-olds. It was a different kind of stroke. This one terminated himself.
Are you referring to a certain documentary on HBO?
Yes, there's a lot of things. A lot of things happening in the world of the awful pop culture. There's a lot of things. There's too many to even cover. Even one just broke like 10 minutes ago or later this afternoon about Alex Trebek. Apparently he's on his way out.
He's got much time left.
What is a disease that's going to kill him in 6 months? Yeah, he has a stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
That's funny to you?
Yeah, geez, Karen.
He's about to go any day now?
You know what? I figured it's going to happen to me sooner or later, so I figured I'll get all my jokes out, and then when I pass away, everybody will have their jokes about me.
You're a horrible person.
No, I'm not. I just don't know I don't know how to handle this stuff. Just too many deaths.
This is how emotionally disconnected you are.
that you're laughing at this guy's pancreatic cancer.
Well, you know what I was laughing at? I'll play you the damn clip too. It's hard to listen to Alex Trebek talk about his stage 4 pancreatic cancer when we've known his voice for so many years doing the game show. You know what I mean? And he's describing awful news in the game show voice. You know what I mean? Here it is. I have the clip right here.
Hi, everyone. I have some news to share with all of you, and it's in keeping with my longtime policy of being open
How's that
and
game show
transparent.
voice? That's his voice.
I know, but it's the voice from Jeopardy. You know what I mean?
No, I think you're completely off.
With our Jeopardy fan base.
It's like if Alec were in my kitchen telling me about stage 4 cancer, I'm like, it's the game show voice. Like, that's all I know. You know what I mean? Can't take it seriously.
Also wanted to prevent you from reading or hearing some...
You're not with me on this, Chris, to tell you.
I'm not. I think this is not funny. I think you're going into a category where your antisocial behavior is not understanding. This is the way he talks. He he's very professional. This is how people know him.
Overblown.
So what should he do? He should be talking with a really sad monotone voice? I don't understand.
No, it's the game show voice. That's what I'm saying.
Not a game show voice.
It's his voice. He's been voicing the game show forever. I don't know why we're arguing about this. I honestly don't.
Inaccurate reports regarding my health. So therefore, I wanted to be the one to pass along this information. Now, just like 50,000 other people in the United States each year, this week I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Now, normally the prognosis for this is...
He's doing the announcement just like he reads the categories in the damn Jeopardy. That's what I'm getting to. I'm not criticizing the guy. It's terrible.
I really don't get it.
I know. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's my twisted mind. Maybe I should get out a little bit more. I don't know, Chris. But it is the game show. It's sad. It's sad.
Why don't we do this, Kieran?
What?
You have pancreatic cancer, stage 4.
Mm-hmm.
Give a statement.
Well, LR listeners out there, I got some bad news. Apparently, well, it might be good news for you because I'm going to be ending the show very soon because I have
you're using your podcast voice.
Stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
You're using your radio.
Dylan!
But I mean, that's exactly how I would announce it. I don't know. You know, I would have to laugh about it because you're right, Chris. Maybe in a roundabout way, you're right. I can't handle the emotion. I can't even hug people, Ben. I can't even hug. I don't know. I have a problem hugging people. I don't know. Whatever. There's a lot of weird news happening this week.
Basically, what Kieran is telling you, Ben, is that he's slowly becoming a hermit, like full-fledged hermit.
Is it? But you weren't like this in New York. Is this a Phoenix thing?
What? Yeah, no, I'm not a hermit. I don't want to get into this. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world that we can be wacky about and all that stuff. But no, I don't think I'm a hermit. I just don't feel like going out. I got too much things to do. I got things. I got work. I got working out. I got the show. I don't have time to leave the house, other than work out and look at girls in yoga pants. I gotta join.
Oh, wait a minute! Did you approach that girl?
I only saw her once since then, and she was leaving the gym as I was coming in. Actually, not as I was coming in.
Story. You always have that story.
I know.
What, did you even talk to her or what?
I did not talk to the blonde-headed girl that helped me pick up the Middle Eastern lady off the ground. No, not yet.
Some Middle Eastern girl fell off of, what was it? A treadmill?
Yeah, she took a nose plant on a treadmill and then shot herself into the Stairmasters. It was quite.
No, that's funny. The Alex Trebek. That's funny. Did she hurt herself?
No, but she literally hit those treadmills. I mean, those Stairmasters like bowling pins. I think she knocked 2 off center. You know what I'm saying? It was.
And
nice.
she was Middle Eastern.
She was Middle Eastern, like full. The reason why she fell on the treadmill is because she was in that full, like, almost burqa garb. So I think the thing got caught in the tread and she went bing.
Oh. Dude, it's so funny you say that because I was in a gym recently, and an Asian guy, older guy, was running on the treadmill, and he did the same thing. He went flying, and the stairman, it was almost identical. Went flying back, and he actually whacked his head pretty hard. And he came up, and it was like Looney Tunes. You know, it was like he didn't know what the hell was going on. It was, and you know, it's hard not to laugh at him. But I don't know. He had the thing going as fast as he could possibly run. He couldn't keep up. You know, it's some people in the treadmill business that shouldn't be on it. Slow down.
That's a practical joke on everyone.
Yeah, no, I don't understand what that Middle Eastern lady was doing on a treadmill anyway, because she's like 70 years old. I'm like, I mean, well, why do you need to be on there?
So Kieran and a wonderfully kind, good-looking woman,
right,
both helped this lady up.
Very blonde. She's blonde. She's curvy. Whoosh, you know what I'm saying?
And Kieran is regretting not talking to her.
Dude, that's the easy. You had a total in. You helped the woman out.
I
What
told
are you,
him
stupid?
already.
I know.
That's the easiest.
Be honest with you, I've been to the gym like 6 days in a row. I only saw her once. I'm thinking about going back tonight just for the opportunity maybe to see her again.
Yes.
So
Smitten. You're smitten.
I'm smitten.
Are you this much of a psycho? You know exactly what time she goes to the gym?
No, she just happens to go when I go. I'm not a psycho.
Sure,
I don't go out of my way. I'm not. I honestly, no, I don't. I was like, I'm like, if it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them guys, Ben.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, I'm the same way with the radio career. If it happens, it happens. Apparently, it's not gonna happen. So don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Did you guys see Leaving Neverland? Because that's the big fucking thing.
It's disturbing. Just the least. I had to turn it off a couple times.
I know. It part one of Leaving Neverland that was on HBO, the documentary about the sexual abuse, Michael Jackson, and all this. Part one was the first half hour. It's like a snooze fest. I'm like, this has got no substance. This is boring. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I forget who it was. It might have been Jake Safechuck, one of the kids that was touched. He just comes out of nowhere and goes, yeah, Michael asked me to bend over, pull open my butt cheeks, and he would masturbate behind me. Oh, yeah. I was 7.
A whiff.
I was 7 years old. I was just like, holy shit, that is too much to handle. Way too much to handle. Yeah. It was disturbing, man, that whole freaking thing. And I totally believe those guys because they were, I mean, the documentary series was 4 hours long. I was watching the Oprah special afterwards. And you know, when Oprah gets involved, you know shit's legit, I feel like. I don't know. I feel like Oprah doing that special gave the whole documentary a whole lot of credibility. Just by her being Oprah. Am I right or wrong?
I thought the addition of Anthony Edwards was brilliant. What are you talking about?
Yes, Anthony Edwards in the wow, that was the first time I'd seen him since Scrubs or whatever the hell that show was. Yeah, apparently he was in the audience. ER. Was it Scrubs or ER? ER. Yeah.
He actually was on it. I could turn the Oprah part off. I think I can watch.
Yeah, because he has an organization called 1 in 6.
Okay.
About it's to help adults dealing with trauma from their childhood molestation, and he was assaulted as a kid too, and so he started this. Basically, it's a nonprofit for men. So
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I know it was great. I thought it was a great. I was just pointing out that Anthony Edwards overshadowed him.
Yeah, but she definitely gave credibility to the two accusers, Wade Robinson and Jake Safechuck.
I watched the whole thing in one night. Did you?
No, I watched it. I did how HBO aired it. I did one night and then the next night. But I was certainly gung ho to watch part 2 because part 1 was just some of those bombs that they dropped in there about the things Michael would want the kids to do, and the fucking God. It makes sense. I mean, you just wanted to watch the documentary because before the documentary, we all knew about the trials and stuff, and even before the trials, you just watch Michael's life. I mean, no women ever in his life, and when there were, it was staged. You could totally, it didn't seem there was no chemistry between him and Lisa Marie Presley, or he never had sex with the lady that fathered his children. So and the changing of his face, the surgeries, the fact that he never had any women over to his house in Neverland. or is it Neverland? Yes, Neverland Ranch.
Yeah.
And it's just odd. Like something didn't add up. So you knew there was some sort of shenanigans happening, and you wanted clarity. You wanted some other information. And when this documentary came out, and these two accusers told their stories for, I think Wade Robinson was interviewed for like 2 days. The other guy was interviewed for a day, and they cut it all the way down into 4 hours of documentary. It was just like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Now these guys are piecing together everything, and then with Oprah afterwards teaching us about sexual abuse and how it affects those who are abused. Like you're just okay. You're like, oh, no, he totally did it. This is it. This is Mike's life, and we should never fucking idolize this guy again. Yet I did hear, like when I was driving in my car, I heard a Michael Jackson song, and I was like, God damn, that's good. Like
they were playing Michael Jackson when you were in your car.
Yeah, I know.
There are like on a radio station, or it came up on your like Spotify or something.
I think it was on my Spotify. Or yeah,
freaking child molester.
Well, there's a bunch of radio stations that stopped playing his music.
Yeah, no, and rightly so, because he's a fucking sick individual, man. He's fucking loony.
We should have known with the Lisa Marie Presley thing when the beginning of the VMAs that year. Remember they had them come out right at the beginning and they tried to kiss and it looked so ridiculous.
Right.
And, that was like. But I'll tell you the other thing. I was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction the year he got inducted at the Waldorf, and I was in the press area, and he came out, and I was 10 to 15 feet away from him, and he's whiter than me. He was white as a ghost and is frail. He had a cane, and he had two dudes, and he was just in bad shape. Whatever his father did to him, and then whatever he did to these, all these boys, it's sad because there's a guy that you loved his music but he turned out to be a real shithead,
Right.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe him.
Yeah, good term, Ben. There you go.
Yeah, no, it is. He's just. Well, you just knew as an adult. You knew he had to get. We're all adults. We know we have to get the poison out, and you knew he was getting the poison out somehow. And considering he had like 1,000 kids at his Neverland Ranch every 3 weeks, we all figured, 1 + 1 = 2. He's touching one of these kids or he's picking them out. You know what I mean? And that's what the documentary illustrated to us. He's like, he found.
I was yelling at my TV when the mothers were laughing.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck are you laughing at, man?
Dude, how much of a piece of shit is Wade Robinson's mom?
Oh my God, dude. She's the worst.
Yeah.
The worst.
And him at the end of
She should be the one that committed suicide, not her husband.
Yeah, and the kids were worried about that. Her kids were worried that she was going to commit suicide. But
she should.
How about Wade Robinson bringing his mom into therapy when Wade finally, as an adult, decided to go to therapy and try to figure all this shit out? Brings his mom into therapy and tells his mom right to her face, I feel nothing for you because you took me to because you took me to Neverland Ranch. You let me sleep with Michael. He did all this. He used to fucking masturbate. I put his dick in my mouth and all this shit. And you were off in Michael's house just living it up, drinking wine.
This woman, right? She becomes such a part of she wants to be part of this world so bad.
Right.
That she leaves her husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the husband keeps telling, the husband knew what was going on. He knew that his kid was getting fucked. He knew it.
Yeah.
And he kept saying to her, no matter what people say, you did everything you could and it's not your fault. He kept saying that to her.
Right.
So this guy was living with the torment, right? And then his other son leaves and he can't take it. And then he kills himself.
Yeah.
You would think this woman would say, you know what? My husband just killed himself. I'm going to rally the family, keep them close, and end this shit. She doesn't. She gives her son to him even more.
But I mean, what kind of parent would let a child sleep in a bed with an adult?
I just ridiculous.
I don't know, man. I was watching all that old footage of Michael with kids, and even when he traveled to Europe and
he always had a kid in tow, man.
He always had a kid in tow, and I'm like, how is this just we all just watched this, and we watched the Entertainment Tonights and stuff. We saw the footage of Michael in Paris with some kid. How did that not all just go red flag every damn time?
and everybody was around him was complicit. They deserve a lot of the blame too.
Yeah, it's insane.
You guys think he banged Macaulay Culkin?
I actually, I don't know, man. It's like 50-50. I'm like, maybe he didn't, just so that Macaulay would be the voice to say that, Mike he was always a gentleman.
I don't think he ever came out to say he didn't, right?
No,
Well, he defended him in court. Macaulay,
The first
time. Yeah.
both Corey Feldman and Macaulay Culkin said that Michael never touched him.
Corey Feldman said that?
Yeah.
I thought Corey Feldman said he did.
Mm-mm.
But Corey Feldman didn't spend the kind of time with him that Macaulay did.
Corey Feldman's also fucking crazy, so it's not.
But he's fucked up.
He
This could be a reason why.
Yeah.
But
And
what
by
they
the
all,
way,
but they,
Macaulay Culkin has been fucked up for a long time. I mean,
but both of them are also in the pub.
Michael
Here's the Lisa Marie and Michael Jackson at the MTV Video Awards in 1994. This is when they allegedly were married. Here, let me just play this audio. This you can just tell this is such bullshit. And he would say this would never last. Fucking creep.
is that your Michael Jackson?
Yeah. There he is on stage with Lisa Marie, who was bangable at the time, by the way.
She was hot.
Yeah, I thought so, Look at him. He's like, 1994, he already started looking like a fucking statue. His face was so sculpted. Can you imagine if he did live into his 60s?
Are you going to play the clip?
Yeah.
Or what?
I know. I'm going on a little. But can you imagine? I was thinking about this because he died at 50, and when he was during those trials, we saw snapshots of him. It looked like his face was literally falling off, like
He had basically withered away.
like aluminum siding off your side of your house is just starting to fall off. Like, can you imagine if he made it to his 60s and 70s, what his face would have looked like?
Oh my gosh.
It was just brutal.
Again, I saw him up close. He's a freak. It's like
It would be
oh my
he'd
God.
be Skeletor right now.
He looked worse than Paul Stanley without his makeup on. I mean, the two of them. It's like,
Did he look, Ben? Did he look human in person? No.
He looked. He was so pale white.
Was he translucent almost?
Dude, he was so pale white, and he was so frail. He had a cane, and you remember he did not perform at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like everybody does that.
Right.
Madonna pulled the same crap too, but he was, he wouldn't perform. I forget who they had do his songs, but he just stood there with his bodyguards, and he wouldn't answer any questions from the press in the press room. Meanwhile, like Aerosmith comes out, and they're out there for like 45 minutes. He refused to answer any questions, and then he just walked away with some dude that looked like a Farrakhan guy. It was,
Right. All right, here's the Lisa Marie and Michael Jackson confessing their love at the MTV Video Music Awards in 1994. This is at Radio City. I didn't know that. Get to it, you fucking creep. Gotta have all the accolades, you fucking me, I. Fucking Skeletor dick face.
What are you gonna say?
Hello?
Yeah, we all know you're there, dick.
Welcome to the MTV Video Music Awards.
She looks terrified, but he looks like she's held captive, staring at the audience going, please, somebody snap this guy in half. Let me free. Set me free.
I'm very happy to be here. And just think, nobody thought this would last.
They all laughed at him. Look at that. They're all laughing at him.
A year in when that happened?
Yeah, another kiss. There it
It's
is.
a little long time, John.
Yeah. It wasn't even a long kiss. It was like not even, what is that, 5 seconds, and they just ran off stage?
What year was that VMAs? What year?
1994, yeah.
And think about it. They had no history. They didn't have there was no backstory to their marriage. It was just, we're married, and that was basically it.
Right.
I think you said this, Chris. I think you said this last night when we were talking about this. You said that you think that the family,
Lisa Marie was put up to it by her mother. What's her name again?
Priscilla?
Priscilla.
Yeah. Priscilla Priscilla needed to sell. She needed more sales for Elvis stuff, right? She knew that this would increase the value of all Elvis memorabilia, all Elvis, music, his recordings, all that stuff.
Right.
And she probably got a nice payment from Michael's estate.
Yeah, but
and at
like
the
Graceland needs any more money? Come on, it's like that place is a cash machine. It's crazy.
Cash machine, but
Okay, Michael's a cash machine too. All right.
Also, she's used to a certain type of life. You know what I mean? And I think there was a lull in that Graceland shit because she doesn't have full control over it. So she was probably in dire straits money wise. She probably had burned through a ton of cash.
What about all the money from the Naked Gun movies?
Yeah, right.
Naked Gun.
That's all Leslie Nielsen. Man.
But also, if you forget, if you're forgetting that Lisa Marie also at that same time had a little bit of a music career.
Right. She was trying to launch her own career.
Right.
So you can totally see her mother saying, hey, this will put you on top, immediately. You'll be on every, it'll distract people from that you're Elvis' daughter or Michael's wife. I mean, it's horror. I mean, these celebrities, man, there's fucked up shit going on. It really is. It's so desperate for fame. It's fucking crazy.
Here's a little snippet of Lisa Marie. Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I don't remember any of it. To be honest.
Did that music career go anywhere? I don't remember.
No, it was one album.
She had some videos. Yeah. She looked like her dad or whatever. But Michael. It's amazing that he got away with this shit for so long. He had that.
It wouldn't have lasted if this was happening now. I think he would have got called out.
Fuck no. There's no way he could pull that off. I mean, just being like taking like you see the still shots in the documentary of like the photo shoots he's taking with the kids. Like he's got his head, like he's got his arms around Jake Safechuck when he's like 10 years old, and he's got Michael's resting his chin on his head. Like unless that's your father, you're not taking that picture. You're a strange man. You're taking a picture with somebody else's kid.
I mean,
it's weird.
But all right. So do you believe in this theory that the parents were the parents were seduced by his celebrity, and that it's they're victims too?
I think so, just because the different time, and I don't think, like people have said it on various shows, there's no one like Michael Jackson was a superstar. You know what I mean?
It doesn't happen like that anymore.
No,
like, there's no Beatlemania anymore.
Right.
With any of these musicians,
and I can believe
they have their time at the top, and then that's it. They just kind of fall apart.
Right. He was the Beatles. He was a
like,
giant.
No one
so
goes this crazy for like Lady Gaga, right?
Right. And and Wade Robson's family, Jake Safechuck's family, they were just small town people. And
but think about it. I get it. Like the shadow looms large, right? They, this guy whisks them to the U.S. and wines and dines the whole family and shows them a great time, brings them to the concerts, all that stuff.
Let me show you my wishing
I could
tree.
see myself getting pulled into that swoon. You know what I mean? I get it.
Yeah,
I guarantee you could if it was Noel Gallagher.
Yeah, 100%.
We'd never see Chris again.
100%.
See you later.
It's funny that Ben knows about my Oasis fandom.
He loves Oasis.
Hey, Chris, would you take one in the mouth for if it was lame?
That's no. All right. That's the thing. So like, and I was getting to that. If I have a son and Noel Gallagher says, "Hey, I love your son. He's a great kid.
Right.
I'm gonna, help him with his career or some shit like that. But why don't you have him stay with me and let him sleep in my bed?" I mean, I'd fucking punch him in the face just for suggesting it.
Of course you would.
I mean, that's just common sense, though. You know
How you feeling?
Like,
Godlike.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's Liam saying godlike. But that's what I'm saying. That's where you draw the line, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she even said, "Absolutely not," right? And then he says to her, "I always get what I want." And then he gets what he wanted.
Right.
I mean, the fact that, all these parents would let the kids go to Neverland and hang out, and he had all these secret rooms and just all this weird stuff. Ferris wheel.
Ben, if a guy says to you, about your kid, I always get what I want. What's your reaction?
Kick him in the nuts.
Are you gotta be fucking kidding me?
I'm Irish and I'm from Boston. What do you think?
He's sending her faxes, man. Faxes.
The whole thing was so disturbing.
No,
I couldn't believe how disturbing it was.
Well, you guys agree that he groomed the parents and he groomed the kid.
Sure. And like I said, I could see how you get caught up in all that.
Yeah.
But the minute fucking he closes the door to his bedroom with your kid inside, I'm knocking that door down. There's no, and there was times when she was sleeping in like the next room, man.
Yeah, but he
in a hotel.
But by that point, he was playing at both families like a fiddle. He was locked in. I mean, there's even that story about how I believe it was Jake Safecook's family who would pick Michael up at like some hotel in their own car, and like they would bring him to their house, and Michael would hang out for a couple days, and it'd be
and I get it, and that's like, and that's fine and all good and whatever, and I would be totally caught up in the fact that, hey, Michael Jackson's at my fucking house,
right?
And how ridiculous, how cool is this? This is amazing. You can't make this shit up. I get that part,
right?
But the fucking minute he takes your son away from you,
right? But that was a way
that's the end right there, man. I would never allow a kid to go do that.
But even Jake's Safechuck's mother would say, like, I used to treat Michael like my son. I looked at him as my son. I did his laundry. I made him breakfast, blah, blah, blah. So he was working, like, at that point, he totally worked into her trust. And I'm on the celebrity.
I'm pretty sure he enjoyed the seduction part.
Fuck yeah, I'm sure he did. He was a sick fuck, man. All that to get his fucking nuts off, man. He was, oh God, what a sick
good looking little kids, man. What are you gonna do?
Anyway, isn't it weird? I mean,
where's your inappropriate bell on that one?
Where's the bell? Where's Anthony's bell?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, where's Anthony's bell? It's somewhere here. There it is.
There you go. Ring the bell.
Yeah. Isn't it weird too that Wade Robson and Jake Safechuck were like two kids that did like Michael Jackson dancing, and I feel like Mike he searched for kids that could do like the Thriller dance or the Billie Jean dance or the Beat It dance, and he pinpointed those kids because they were he was
probably looking for kids and families that were obsessed.
Yeah. Or he was looking for kids that he could work into maybe a show or something, bring up on stage so he can use that as almost like an excuse to, be in contact with the kid even more.
Yeah. Look, if you're trying to bang a chick, right? That you really like.
Absolutely. It's a work. Yeah. It's a fucking work. God.
The principles don't change. It's the same thing.
When Jake Safechuck said on the fucking documentary, he asked me to bend over and, oh God, I was just like, what the fuck, man? The kid's 7 years old, showing 7-year-old asshole. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's nuts.
What?
Yeah, just bizarre shit.
A buddy of mine that has kids was texting me during this, and he's like, I can't even believe this. And he's got 3 young boys, and I was like, I had to turn it off. That was about the time I took a break. It was like,
it was like too much. It was too much reality. It was too much honesty. It was sickening, man. And the whole time I'm sitting there wondering if Michael Jackson, sounded like this when he would masturbate. No, I don't know. I wonder why he always made those noises on stage. I don't know. They're kind of just odd noises.
So they asked the question.
He's just shucking in.
Oprah asked the question, would you have done this if he was still alive? What do you think?
Of the like Wade Robson? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Say that again.
Would they have done it? Would they have come forward and talked about this if he was still alive?
Ooh, see, I didn't see that part. I would imagine at some point they would have, but Wade Robson said he was going to go to the grave with it, so maybe not.
What do you think?
I don't know, that's a good question. I didn't see that part either. who knows? I mean, if Michael would have probably given him money and say, "Don't say anything," probably just paid him off.
Right,
If
so
they were going to bring it up.
That guy Robson said that, if he was still alive, he'd probably continue the whole
lie
thing of convincing him, to keep lying. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it would. I think that's probably correct.
That Wade Robson, by the way, is the guy who broke up Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears.
Get out of here, really?
Because he banged Britney Spears in her
I didn't
prime.
know that.
How about that? How about that? How about that?
Is that real?
That is true. That is absolutely true. How about that for a resume?
Guys got moves.
Michael Jackson and Britney Spears at the top of their game.
He used Michael Jackson type skills to lure her in.
I mean, that's a unique resume of.
You think he told Britney, "Hey, I fucked Michael Jackson. Come on."
Yeah, it'll help your career out, Brittany. Maybe get some more hits out of it.
Like
You
it
think
was
you're the biggest star I fucked Michael Jackson.
Yeah, it was
Come on.
it was the oops I did it again days, man. It wasn't like the crazy Britney days.
No, it was
It-
hot.
yeah,
young-
it was that leather, that red skin tight fucking outfit she was wearing. Oh god,
With the snake around her at the VMAs.
Snake
that,
of-
that performance. Yeah.
fuck yeah,
There's
that's
that
what
one too, huh?
that's what Wade put around her neck. Fucking Christ. Yeah. It's crazy how like the Michael Jackson fans blow me away. Like the ones that are just blindly
still
like
behind him.
he didn't do it. This is horseshit. Wade. Like I feel like a lot of them they wouldn't even like kind of want to watch the documentary and give these guys the benefit of the doubt, or at least watch it with an open mind, going maybe these guys are telling the truth, maybe they're not. You know what I mean? Because
it's the same type of people that still say OJ didn't do it.
because if you're right, yeah, it's true. But if you're watching that documentary and you're watching these two guys talk about their experiences with Michael Jackson, you're like, I mean, if this is a work and these guys are lying, they are tremendous actors because they're doing a really good job right here explaining a story. It's very detailed.
When you're lying, you can't be that type of detail.
Right.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like if and
to
Uber,
find two people that can go into detail like that is extremely difficult to do.
yeah, and an Uber Michael Jackson fan watching that you have to if you're a stable-minded human being, you have to go, you know what? I think Mike did it. I think Mike did this shit, I mean, he had a candy store in his fucking Neverland Ranch. He had a goddamn candy store. Who has a fully stocked?
Actually, surprisingly, a lot of celebrities who have a movie theater in their house all have that type of thing.
Like, yeah, but it's not equipped with a.
Like I've been to Nick Cannon's house. He has a candy store in his house.
Really?
And he has someone who works there.
Wait a minute. He has somebody who works in a candy store in his house. Nick
You walk
Cannon?
into the candy store, right? And she works behind the counter. She serves you anything that she has behind the counter.
Right.
Otherwise, it's help yourself type stuff. Like with the bags, and you shovel the candy from the bins, and then you put them in the plastic bag. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
When you go to a
and then you
candy
bring
store-
it into the movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like and there's a person that helps you with anything, and she works there. She has hours.
That's crazy. I wonder how much he pays her.
Who knows?
Health benefits, everything.
Dude, it's crazy. I mean, like he has everything in that candy store. Any kind of candy you ever imagined is in that candy store.
So it's like Dylan's Candy here in
Yeah,
New York. Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I wonder if Justin Timberlake was watching that Leaving Neverland.
I've heard that from several people that've been to homes where there's a candy store or a candy
popcorn
counter
and all
or a
that stuff.
candy counter type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but Michael also, he had the llamas. He had a zoo. He had a guy.
He had a fucking he had Great Adventure in the safari.
He had
his place.
he had what he called the wishing tree in his backyard where he used to
He had an
climb.
elephant. He had a tiger. I
Yeah.
mean, it's insane.
And
How is that even legal to have like a tiger in the
Because
United States?
you register you register as a zoo.
I think
as
that
long as you have licensed zookeepers and on your property, and the property is large enough, you can keep exotic animals on it.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I mean, the red flag for me, if I were a parent and I was at Neverland Ranch and my son was, we were walking around, it would be the 9 different locks on the bedroom door of Michael Jackson's bedroom. Like, he had 9 locks. Why do you need 9 locks? My son's not going into a room because you have 9 locks on your door.
Because I think they said it like he was always afraid somebody was going to come in. He was always afraid that someone's going to see him. So
see him naked, just alone.
He had a window in his room that can see anyone coming from down the road.
Right, and what was also strange about his bedroom, described in the documentary, is that he had in his bedroom he had another staircase to another loft bed. So there almost could be 4 people sleeping in one bedroom, but he had a loft in there, which was strange.
Right.
Oh, man.
Wade's sister slept at one.
Right. Yeah, as Wade was downstairs with Michael in the lower bed, and she was in the upper bed.
Ready to get dressed fast.
Right.
He trained him. He trained him. It was just fucked up stuff.
And then I think the worst description of what was going on was when that guy Jake was talking about where he had sex with Michael Jackson all over the estate.
Right.
You remember that?
Yeah, it was everywhere.
Yeah, we had sex in there. We had, he had a train station in his, we had sex in there. I mean, it was like, oh my God.
Every place other than the pond. I think he nailed it in every fucking.
This was this sounds like a couple that does well financially and buys his house, and then they christen every room in the house. That's what this fucking guy was doing. He was christening every part of that fucking place.
Maybe Michael Jackson was reliving the Sex for Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's not bring that. That's funny. I think he was getting points. He was on a point system.
He got a point system. 2-point conversions.
He won that contest. Free fucking Sam Adams for a year.
He would have killed all of us. It wouldn't have even been close. Yeah. He would have blown. You would have put all 5 of our teams together, and he'd still kill us by a mile on that one. Good God.
Yeah, oh, but you know what? He tried. He got greedy. I feel like Michael Jackson with the kid stuff. He went for the kid who had cancer. That's what fucked him up. That's what brought the whole thing down. Is that he was spending a lot of time with a kid with cancer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's sad, dude. That's why I got so pissed off when the parents started laughing. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Stop fucking laughing, man.
Yeah, I mean,
the brother, Wade's brother, when he says,
Chris, you there?
His mother.
Go ahead, Chris. You're breaking up. Go ahead. Oh no! I hope we didn't lose him. I think we lost. Did you guys broke up? Go ahead.
That guy's wife. Everyone stopped talking to her. That guy's wife won't allow her to see his kid.
Oh yeah, that's right. The mother of Wade Robson, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Wade's wife won't allow the kid, in the same room as a mom.
Yeah, no.
I would do the same thing. I would completely tell his mother to live the rest of her life in fucking agony. And to boot, right? The director on the Oprah thing, the director says that the mother told him to fast forward through the parts where he was describing the sexual abuse.
No shit.
You fucking cunt. Yeah. You can't face the music now?
Right.
Fucking listen to what this guy went through. Listen to it. You contributed to this. Own up to it, man.
Yeah,
and mend the fence between you and your son.
This is your life's mistake right here. You need to hear it.
She's gonna get annihilated, man. People are gonna be sending her hate mail for fucking a long time. They're gonna find her. And they're gonna fucking shit all over.
She's better off going into witness protection.
She should fucking go back to Australia.
And is it true that neither one of those kids, Wade or Jake, were paid for this documentary? They're not making money off of this, right?
Nope.
So was it just like a therapy thing for them? And I'm shocked they didn't take any money. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they didn't take money. I think from what I read, I think there was like a fee that was contributed to an organization or something like that, and that was it.
And meanwhile, the Jackson family, they're going crazy over this.
Yeah.
Didn't they file a lawsuit?
Yeah, because this is this puts their future earnings in jeopardy.
Right.
So that's why they're suing.
That is
All the real talented part of the family there.
I heard that estate made $450 million last year alone. The Michael Jackson. So that's a lot of money. Obviously, they're going to sit there. The brothers all fucking soul glowed out. They're just going to sit there.
I don't even know if they get a bulk of that. I think they get some kind of stipend from the estate.
Yeah.
But the kids have all the money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Whatever it is, man, those brothers are certainly sitting there defending it. I mean, they did an interview right before like a month before the documentary came out. I heard it on the news this morning, and they were just, blindly going, "Oh, it's untrue. Michael was this. Michael loved kids. Blah 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 blah." I forget what show it was from, but they sounded so like ignorant because they didn't even
all the brothers or
all of them. Yeah, it was like Marlon and fucking
Tito and Jermaine.
Yeah, it was
Tito and Jermaine have been the real outspoken ones. Right. They've been all pissed off.
Meanwhile, Jermaine and his brother's relationship was fractured.
Yeah, I mean Jermaine, if you remember, because Jermaine married Berry Gordy's daughter. That all got broken up, and Jermaine reunited with them at Motown 25 up at the Apollo. That was the first time they had been on stage together in a long time. And actually, even though we're talking about sick F Michael was, it was a great performance when it was. Now I'm saying that
it was great.
It was great at the time. Now that I know what I know, I'm a huge Michael fan, but now I'm just like, oh my God.
I'll never listen to Billie Jean ever again. Man.
How crazy was it that
that was my favorite song for a long time.
Mine too.
That Jake Safechuck had the Thriller jacket. Like Michael, we brought him into his bedroom and told.
I think the thing with that is there was a lot of Thriller jackets.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too.
That guy would hand out those Thriller jackets just like it was nothing. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah, like a business card. Yeah.
Kind of like Derek Jeter with the gift bags when Derek Jeter would bang
the
consolation prize.
It would get down to he would be like, okay, my driver will take you home. There'd be a gift bag, an autographed ball, and like a jersey, and all that stuff. So that was Michael's gift, the Thriller jacket.
Right.
Now get the hell out.
So at the end of the documentary, when you see the images of them burning all the Michael Jackson memorabilia that they received from Michael personally, I guess it's really not that big of a deal because
and by the way,
there's many like it.
Who knows if these mothers were telling the truth, man? Maybe they did have some kind of fucking arrangement.
Well, I believe the Safechuck family got a house off of it.
Yeah, they would be gifted with shit constantly. Where do you think that comes from, Kieran? You think that just comes from, hey, we become friendly, or the fact that that I'm fucking your kid? Here's a fucking couple $1 million of hush money.
I wonder if there was
keep up the appearances.
Like an invoice of sexual favors that are on a list. And he's like, I did 5 blowies last week. Here's a car or something. You know what I mean?
I mean, she really should pay some kind of consequence.
Go to jail.
If I'm those two mothers, man, I'm just drinking a whole shitload of wine, just waiting for death because emotionally, it's got to be a lot of fucking hurt inside there.
Notice that the other guy's father didn't do it.
Well, he's the one. Wade's dad died, hung himself, right?
Wade's dad committed suicide. That's what I was saying earlier. Is that I think he knew about it, and that's what he couldn't live with.
Right.
He hung himself.
Well, didn't he have all sorts of problems too? Didn't he have bipolar and all that stuff? That doesn't help. I mean, that doesn't help. Mess everything up.
But I think that he probably, because I think when he was telling his wife, whatever they do or whatever they say about you, know that it's not your fault. And then he fucking killed himself.
Right.
It's
just pimping out your kids like that. It's just, I don't know.
Unfortunately, it's not. I can't. There's not the only case of this, man. There's other shit going on like this too, man.
It was a Thriller jacket. Leroy Jenkins coming in the chat room. Chris looks like a lot different this week. People just see people see Ben on
a lot better.
Yeah. Ben's
looking at my face.
Ben Sparks is joining us, former radio producer extraordinaire, and Chris. Yeah, old friends. This is like the old crew right here. This is a lot of fun. We did a lot of reminiscing actually on this show in the past week. We had Josh Gogan on on Friday, and Rock actually came out of the woodwork to do a Friday show, which was weird. Yeah, so it's been kind of fun the last couple days on the Lunatic Radio shows. Yeah, Leaving Neverland. If you haven't seen it, HBO, fucking watch it, man, and you will look at Michael Jackson completely differently if you haven't already. But
this get one of those bags you get on a plane, one of those barf bags, because you might have to barf. I thought I was going to a couple times. It was just so graphic.
There's two instances in part one where you just it was one from Jake where it's the butthole shit and Michael would just jack off to my butthole, and the other one was from Wade when he described showering with Michael Jackson and Michael, putting his fucking schlong in his seven-year-old mouth. Oh god damn. When Wade said that, I was like, I might have to fucking.
I kept saying I was 7 years old.
They kept on repeating I was 7, and he goes, imagine a grown man's penis in a 7-year-old mouth. I believe he said it almost pretty much like that. It was just like that. It's just. I guarantee when Michael Jackson masturbated, it sounded like that. I almost guarantee it.
You're convinced? You're convinced?
I'm almost. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get Wade Robinson on and let's find out.
Maybe. Let's let this settle for a couple of years, and then I'll invite Wade on the. I would love to ask
Ben
him.
can get him as a guest.
I would love to ask him that. I mean, we might have to, yes. I would love to know. Just the dumb thing.
What's interesting though, thinking about this, have those guys done any other press this week since this has aired? I mean, it's only Wednesday, but I haven't seen them on any of the other talk shows.
They did Oprah. What else is left to do?
Well, that was on HBO, but I mean, I'm just like surprised the Today Show or Good Morning America or something hasn't tried it.
Once you do Oprah, man, everything else is just.
But it was Oprah on HBO. I mean, it's not Oprah on their own show on ABC.
I think they streamed it for free.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, but I think they let people watch it for free. The Oprah thing.
But I mean, these guys, they're going to be tormented for the rest of their lives. I mean, it's just going to be. I feel bad for them. I mean, that sucks.
Well, what I'm waiting for now that the documentary came out is more accusers, more this and that. Well, I wonder, if I feel like that's just a norm for that to happen.
It might open the floodgates. Yeah, probably.
Right. And you got to think there's more, right? You got to think it's got to be more.
Has to be.
I mean,
there was videos of him. I remember, he'd have that trolley driving around Neverland. I mean, I remember all this growing up because I was a big Michael fan.
How many one-night stands do you think he had?
Oh my god,
with kids.
How many STDs do you think Michael had? I mean, that's a scary thing. Oh my god.
Well, how many times? How many times?
He was just banging kids.
Yeah, that's true. I
wasn't getting it. That's clean. Man. Yeah. Safe sex.
You don't think he ever did older guys?
Fapping wasn't a practice back then, and you had to get, Michael got the poison out a lot.
The last time he had a sexual experience with that kid Wade, he was 14.
Yeah, okay, so no.
And then he cut him off. They never had sex again.
Right, because he found a new fucking kid.
Yeah, he needed a kid.
Here's the other thing
he's farming kids at Neverland.
Yeah,
exactly. He's farming them.
But he had a huge staff at Neverland. I mean, that's a big complex.
Sure.
I mean, people had to know about
those guys are complicit, man. They probably signed all NDAs.
Yeah, non-disclosure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they couldn't say anything.
Yeah, you're right. Which is crazy, but it's whatever.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah. And the other one, I mean, it's like the week of the pedophile. It really is. It's a weird week, people. Because
we've been talking about R. Kelly for like the last 3 months, basically.
Yeah, but it's like the Sunday and Monday of this week is the Leaving Neverland. Michael Jackson were inundated with comments and this and that, Twitter wars, and then boom, here it comes. What is it? Wednesday. Fucking R. Kelly loses his shit to the Gail fucking whatever the hell her name is.
It's hilarious because it was Oprah doing this thing on HBO, and now it's Gail King.
Gail King, who was in the audience for that Leaving Neverland post document. Yeah, she was in the audience.
Her and Oprah, man. They got a strong bond.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I tell you what, though.
Never heard anything about that.
I watched a half hour of that Oprah thing, and I was like, man, this Oprah, man, she hasn't missed a beat. She's fucking great. She's great at
Except
what
for
she
Weight
does.
Watchers.
Yeah,
She still has a chop. You know?
she hasn't missed
you know
a
what?
beat or a burger in a while.
In her 60s now, she can look good any way she wants.
Yeah.
No,
No.
but I'm talking about. Did you hear what happened? She
No.
lost a huge amount of money the other day because Weight Watchers took a 30% dive in the stock.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, not much money to her.
It's a chink in the armor for her.
I know.
man.
A mere bag of shells, as the boys used to say. Yeah. Here is R. Kelly was on CBS this morning with Gayle King. Is that her name, Gayle King?
Yes.
Yeah, and the singer denies sex abuse allegations. You believe he has 10, right? In this case coming up? Is it 10?
I think it was a lot more than that.
It's a lot, whatever it is. It's a big number. I forget the actual number, but
If convicted,
He made reference to 50 at some point.
like I said, every day you got to get the poison out. So there's a lot out there. Don't forget about Kevin Spacey. He's not on their level. He's not on the pedophile level.
Kevin Spacey is now what Kevin Spacey did compared to these two.
Yeah.
It's fucking laughable.
Yeah, he is he's in A-ball. These guys are fucking hitting home. These guys are Barry Bonds on steroids of the pedophile game. All right, here's R. Kelly losing his shit to Gayle King on CBS this morning.
So I think the point you're making is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well, I'm
How stupid would
never
it be
held
for R.
anybody.
Kelly? With all
The
I've
answer
been
to that is
through in my
pretty fucking stupid. You dick.
way past to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. Why, how stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you
That's
were holding.
stupid, guys.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes. It's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle. Stop it.
Man, it's building up. It's just building up. He's still sitting at this point. They're sitting across from each other, you know, and he's about to lose his shit.
Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
And there's the tear jerker. There's the line that produces the waterworks. Yeah.
How do I feel like that's gonna make your soundboard?
I'm fighting for my life, man. That's the motto of my fucking podcast, yo.
You should start. You should actually do something at the beginning of the show with that clip.
Let me go back a little bit. Let me go. That is a gem. That is.
Yeah, that's a keeper, man.
That's the clip they played during the preview to win an Oscar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man. This is not about music.
Oof.
I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth.
Wow.
You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly paused the interview to give Kelly a moment. His publicist helped calm him down.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're gonna
This
let
is
the
not
camera keep
true.
rolling.
This is not, doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women?
He's getting his makeup done. Like the guys are prepping him, like he's sweating, so they're trying to get the sweat off his face. Gail's sitting in front of him, and he's not even looking at her. Like it doesn't even matter that she's in the room anymore. He's just looking directly at the camera that's still rolling, and he's talking to it. You know, just trying to get his message out there. Oh, man.
Their mothers and fathers told me, we're going to destroy your career.
But Kelly's emotions remained raw.
It's real girls out there missing. It's real young girls out there being abducted, being raped.
Yeah, fucking R. Kelly used to fucking put him in rooms, and then he would stick like a Home Depot bucket in the corner, and he'd be like, pee in that, bitch. God damn, he had him pee in Home Depot buckets. Home Depot buckets.
Okay? They really are on chains. They really do have chains on.
He's literally describing everything that he did.
They are on their wrists and they can't get out.
Robert,
and they're ending up buried in debris.
Robert, we have to have a conversation. Really, I don't want you just ranting at the camera.
I came here for them to hear me talk.
But
I need help.
What kind of help?
This is the kind of help I need.
Chris, you want to interject? He needs help. What kind of help does he need?
Stop pissing on little girls.
Yeah,
that's the type of help you need.
Yeah, stop flying.
It's funny how he said, "I need help." Yeah, you do.
Stop doing concerts in Ethiopia trying to recruit the entire crowd onto a fucking G4 airplane. You ever hear that audio? That's insane what he does.
Yeah.
What kind of help?
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart. Because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving them.
Yeah, apparently he needs help curing his big heart.
What type of big heart do you have when you're basically defiling women? Like, what kind of big heart is that?
Maybe he Gail cut him off.
Because in the beginning of the interview, he says, "Yeah, I mistreated women. You know, I'm guilty of mistreating women.
Right.
You know, but not these accusations. You know, and I apologize for the way I treated them, dude. You don't have a big heart. You were fucking women. You were fucking defiling them." And, you know, you paid them off or you had them, you know, whatever. They just wanted to get the fuck out. So you did whatever you did. They signed whatever they had to sign so that you wouldn't be able to they wouldn't be able to do anything to you. But it's so obvious this guy's guilty.
Right. Yeah. And by the way, there was like one that was in the ballpark of being legal and she was like 17. The rest were younger, weren't they?
Right.
So this is like a no brainer.
There's two things. Why would he do this interview? Like, who in their right mind would let him? What publicist would let him do this?
I think it's a Kevin Spacey scenario. Like, Kevin Spacey was held up in his Baltimore residence for so long. It's the same thing with R. Kelly. Like, all this shit, the documentary, and all these people talking shit about him. He's not getting out. In the public. He doesn't have a forum. And this is his first time in front of a camera where he could speak to his audience on a massive scale, and he just exploded.
Yeah, it's that thing when they say, you know, let me get in front of a camera. I got nothing to hide. You know what I mean? And they think by doing this shows everybody that he's not guilty, but it only reinforces the fact that he's completely fucking guilty in this shit.
Because he lost his fucking mind.
I thought he was going to hit Gail King when I saw it this morning. I was like, oh my God, he's going to punch Gail King.
Yeah.
He got right up on her.
He did everything but, man.
You sound like you're
some
playing
spittle hit her face.
the victim here. You sound like R. Kelly. You do. When I listen to you, it does sound like
by the way, Kieran, pause it for a second.
Yeah.
When you watch that clip, the funniest part of it is when they're like patting down his face, like they're patting down his tears.
Right,
with
yeah.
the fucking sponge. Because they're just soaking it up. It's hilarious to watch that.
Yeah.
How even in this moment, he's getting pampered by fucking people. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and he's like emotionally like losing his mind, yet they're still trying to, clean the sweat off his face so he looks good on camera. By the way, Rock checking in. Kieran is slowly trying to phase Chris out. It's messed up because Chris is not on camera anymore. It's Ben Sparks.
It's a good move. It's a good move on Kieran's part. That's
I told Chris put the camera on him.
Change things up, man. Change things up.
You know what though? I gotta say that R. Kelly thing, that could be my favorite interview clip so far this year. When he got up and he started screaming. First time I saw it this morning, I had to watch that like 10 times. I was laughing so hard, just out of his mind. Yeah. That'll be in the end of the year when they do the countdown of some of the best highlights of the year. That'll be right up there. No doubt in my mind.
Absolutely.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You're killing me, man.
Fucking R. Kelly. You know what sucks about R. Kelly is that he'll never get on the level of Michael Jackson with this shit. He'll always be second fiddle pedophile guy. He'll be second fiddle music artist. It sucks.
But you don't you think that he'll get a lot more attention on this now because of the Michael Jackson thing? I'm sure now the media will turn that. I mean, look, Jackson's dead. They can't do anything there. So they'll just the media will just, especially after this fucking thing, they're just gonna go at him even harder.
Well, yeah. I mean, once the trial opens up, man, and now, by the way, even after this, he's back in jail now because he failed to pay child support. So at this current moment, as we do the show on Wednesday here, in this interview coming out this morning at CBS this morning, he was put back in jail later on Wednesday afternoon because he failed to pay child support. So he did the interview.
$60,000.
What a bad day.
He's saying I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids. Meanwhile, dude, you have millions of dollars. Pay fucking child support. What's wrong with you?
Did either of you guys see also? So they had asked Gail after the interview. They said to Gail, were you ever worried that he was going to hit you? And she said no, but she said, when I got there, I guess he lives in the Trump building in Chicago, Trump Tower.
Perfect.
Lives in the Trump Tower, but he has a Christmas tree. He still has his Christmas tree in his living room. So Gail goes, "What's that about?" He goes, "Well, it's a tribute to my mother. I leave it up year round." So this, there's something wrong with him severely. I mean, it just seems weird to have a Christmas tree up all year. But that was his excuse.
Ben, come on. Christmas can be celebrated every day. It's all year round.
Like Festivus?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I haven't.
Every day is Christmas. Come on.
To be honest with you, I haven't taken down my Christmas tree yet.
No, it's actually that's true.
Shut up, really?
That is true. It's I'm staring at it right now. I can see it.
I was just in Arizona 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's still there, Chris. I thought I was going to take it down this weekend, but I was like, fuck it. I like the way it looks when I light it up at night. At night makes the apartment look nice.
Horrible.
Kieran, you realize it is March 6th.
I know. And by the way, it's 80 degrees outside here.
Yeah, fuck you. You know what the temperature is here?
26.
It's freezing here.
Yeah, I know.
20 degrees.
20 degrees. Dude, it's March. What's happening? It's March.
It happens in New York all the time. There was one last late winter fucking blitz. You know what I mean?
Amateur hour day is like 2 weeks away. Fucking St. Patty's Day. Amateur hour day.
What's that? What's amateur hour day?
It's St. Patty's Day. St. Patty's Day.
Amateur hour, it's that. New Year's Eve is another one.
I didn't know that they call it amateur hour.
I just made it up, and it was really bad. Hold on.
Oh, I thought it was a real thing because Ben looked like he knew about it.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it is amateur hour. Yeah, it is.
I mean, like when you go to a wedding, you get people at a wedding that don't ever drink, and they have like 10 drinks, and they're falling down, and they're doing stuff. St. Patrick's Day is just a shit show. And it's on a Sunday. The parade here in New York is on Saturday.
Dude, Manhattan's going to be a mess of throw up. It's going to be a mess of throw up, especially on a Sunday. When it drops on a Sunday with that parade, it's going to be a mess. I wouldn't leave.
Well, you got to play hopscotch between the puke, it's like, but and Boston's just as crazy too. But people will celebrate starting on, the Friday before and Sunday. Monday. It'll be great seeing if you're in a corporate office, see how much work some of the people will be getting done on Monday. It's like the day after the Super Bowl. It's just a joke. Right. I tell people that own companies, I'm like, the day after the Super Bowl, just give people the day off. It's like, it's worthless. So
should be a holiday.
Well, they should have the Super Bowl the week before anyways, because it is a holiday the day after. It doesn't make any sense.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah, Rock is just hammering me in the chat room there.
What is he saying?
I don't know.
About what?
I don't know what he's doing.
What's he hammering you about?
I don't know. Maybe Rock gets jealous when I have other people on the shows. I
do notice that he gets a little territorial.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing on your Wednesday show, man? R. Kelly, Michael Jackson leaving Neverland. It is some great stuff. It's great
and
stuff.
And back-to-back days. That's what's Chris. I think Chris said that. It's like the Michael stuff airs on Sunday, and then you got this. Well, it's actually, but there was rumors about this R. Kelly interview coming out on Monday, and so it was like within a few days, you've had two crazy, disgusting stories. Pretty funny. It's good for people like us because we can sit here and laugh.
Going back to the Michael Jackson thing, I kind of believe Macaulay Culkin was never touched, but I feel like that, goddamn, if you just look at Corey Feldman from the outside and you see how his life has progressed and you see how like eccentric he is, and he has like the angel girls. He has like some sort of angel girls, and it makes up his band. And like less people know about his music than like this radio show right here. He's a little odd. Like Corey's a little odd, and I feel like it would just be my guess, just by looking at the life of Corey Feldman, that I think he's lying a bit. I think his time spent with Michael Jackson, he could be one of those guys that's like Wade Robson back in the day, was just sheltering that shit and just going along with the lie forever. And I feel like if you look at Corey Feldman, it's like eating him inside. You know what I mean? What, anybody with me on that? He is a whack job, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what else I just thought of? Remember Michael used to hang out with Webster?
Oh my God. That is right. Fucking
I just thought of
Webster.
that.
Holy shit!
What was his
Holy
name?
shit. Oh, Gary Coleman. Gary
No,
Coleman.
Not Gary Coleman.
Something Emmanuel, wasn't it?
Something.
Emmanuel Lewis.
Emmanuel Lewis.
Emmanuel Lewis. Oh my
He's
God.
forever a kid, no matter how old he gets.
I
Yeah.
used to hang out with him too. Yeah.
And maybe like, and they were like older looking, young. They were older, right? They were like, if they were 18, they looked like kids anyway, right? There was something weird about Gary Coleman. He had like some sort of midget disease. And that is not the way to put it in this thing.
Some sort of midget disease.
That is not the way to put it, Kieran. That is just. That's all right. No one listens anyway. Yeah. Well, other than the pedophile Olympics, we also had some deaths. Keith Flint of the guy from Prodigy. Yeah, who was I guess he hung himself or killed himself. Is that true?
Yeah, you know what? And I want to ask everybody something because I was thinking about this. What's been going on with all these musicians killing themselves? Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington.
I think it's a reaction to long-term drug abuse. What do you think?
Could be that.
Yeah, well, you look at those three all had issues, so yeah, that could be a good point.
Or they
They
just
could have done enough drugs in their time to just basically, have deteriorated sensibilities and be able to deal with emotion and trauma.
or maybe
Just
they.
seems like it's been a lot lately. It's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that same question. I was wondering maybe they just don't want to be old rockers, like
That's one thing, and like their success is not what it was.
right, and it's never gonna match.
Right.
So, yeah.
Somehow,
I mean, because Chris Cornell, the night he
Billy-
died, if you read some of the
somehow
articles,
Billy Corbin continues to live.
Chris has some problem with Billy Corgan.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Talented.
He doesn't. Yeah, Smashing Pumpkins.
I
We
tell
had
you
this
what,
conversation too,
I
actually.
have listened to the entire Smashing Pumpkins catalog, just in utter boredom, and
There's
there's
3 good songs.
there's not much there. There really
Three.
isn't much there.
I'm disappointed
This-
because I just bought Noel Gallagher tickets,
Hmm.
and Smashing Pumpkins is on the ticket with them.
Really? Who's headlining?
Noel Gallagher, of course. Come on.
Noel
Is he
is
really? He's the headliner.
over Smashing Pumpkins?
Listen, you guys don't understand. He's on an uptick. He sold out Radio City Music Hall. You don't think he could sell out Jones Beach?
I'll touch it. Well, I don't.
Is
I
it
saw
Jones
Smashing
Beach?
Pumpkins.
He's doing Jones Beach, yeah, with Smashing Pumpkins
wow.
and another band called AFI. I don't know AFI.
Yeah, they're no good. They suck.
Yeah.
But
It's a
I saw
shitty-
Smashing
It's
Pumpkins.
a shitty ticket, man. I was a little disappointed.
I went and saw him over, I think in July or sometime over the summer at Madison Square Garden, and I left. I was just like, it was just the pacing was bad, and I actually do like him, but I was just like, I made it through 70%, and I was just like, ugh. It's just Billy's a weirdo, and their set list was
Billy's
well,
a weirdo.
He is a weirdo. He came out in like
I'm
some
sure he
dress thing. What's that? So
I'm
much.
sure he is.
Yeah, no,
not
he's
you.
Yeah, no, he came out in like some weird dress thing, and it was just bizarre. I think if you were on acid, that show would have been great because they had some great visual stuff, but it wasn't. And I'd seen them way back in college in a nightclub, and they were kind of like the next big thing. But I kind of agree with it. They've kind of, I don't know.
I've never heard anybody say that they went to a Smashing Pumpkins concert and they sounded fantastic. I've never heard anybody say that.
I mean, look, he has a unique voice, but his song's not that good. That's the problem.
They're good on the studio versions. The album versions are good.
Well, like so I'm saying, like there's maybe a handful of
Right.
really good Smashing Pumpkins.
It's certainly not like going to see like a radio.
That's the biggest one, right?
1979 was a big hit.
That was a big one too.
Today was a big hit.
Right.
I guarantee you that concert you bought a ticket for to see Noel Gallagher and the Smashing Pumpkins, it's co-headlining. It's got to be co-headlining.
Yeah, maybe co-headlining, but Noel's definitely closing the New York shows and all the big cities except for Chicago because that's probably where they're from. I think that's where Billy, right?
Yes, they're from Chicago.
Yeah, so he'll probably close out that show. But I think look, he has a career going on. Noel Gallagher. He's his last 2 albums went platinum. He's doing fine.
Dude, that song I told you, the song that U2 came out to on the last tour, that was the song that is an awesome. What's the name of it? Fuck, why can't I think of it? The song. The last song before they took the stage was that Noel Gallagher, the big hit. My brain.
Oh, you know what? While I got Ben here, because Ben is like a music expert.
Yeah.
Should Oasis be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yes. Not even a question.
We were debating this. Kieran said no way.
Kieran.
No, I didn't say no way. I did not say that. But okay. I did question the fact that their longevity in the States solely.
They had 12 albums and they were together for.
But they're
20 years.
You would agree with me that they're more of a giant band overseas than they are in the United States. Am I correct or not?
What is the fucking qualifications for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
By the way, Leroy Jenkins, very good call. Oh no, here comes the Oasis segment.
That's right. This is the segment of the show we talk about. The god that is Noel Gallagher, all right?
Yeah.
You're gonna like it, Leroy.
How you feeling? Godlike. Good. Thanks for coming by. Pleasure.
Yeah. I think if fucking goddamn Green Day's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, fuck it. Oasis should have been in there a long time ago.
What? What's your problem with Green Day?
Nothing's a problem with Green Day, but Oasis
Green Day stinks.
Should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
There's no way Green Day should be in there.
Radiohead's going in this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
they should go in before Radiohead. I'm sorry.
No, they should not. Radiohead's been around forever.
They were a bigger band than Radiohead.
And they've killed it every time they put something out.
If you take Radiohead at their peak and Oasis at their peak, Oasis was a much bigger band.
But they had different trajectories in their careers. Radiohead was.
What's the qualifications, Ben? What's the qualifications for?
Well, now they let the fans vote. Now it's a fan vote. That's why Def Leppard won huge.
It's a fan vote. It's a fan vote when they get nominated. Then it becomes a fan vote. They nominate a certain amount of bands, and then it goes to the fans.
Yeah, the fans now they changed that. It didn't used to be like that, but that's why Def Leppard got in. They won they got a huge percentage.
So what is it? What would you say is what qualifies you?
I don't. It's so silly. I mean, you can. I mean, it should be called the Music Hall of Fame. It should be called the Rock Hall of Fame.
Because you got rappers in there, you got everything in there.
Oh,
I like a lot of the rappers there. I love the Beastie Boys and Run DMC, but it's all over the place.
Let me ask you this. Did they film the award ceremony yet? The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame award ceremony yet? Did they do?
They tape it at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn every year. They have been.
Do they?
Have they taped it yet? Have they taped it yet? That's what I'm asking. Because Janet Jackson.
Cleveland did it 1 year. They did it 1 year.
Cleveland got it 1 year, and Howard Stern inducted Bon Jovi, and he let the rock and roll people have it, and then it went back to Brooklyn. So I don't know what the deal is. It used to be at the Waldorf.
Janet Jackson is getting inducted.
In New York City? Yeah. Come on.
It was at the Waldorf. That's where I saw Michael Jackson. It was at the Waldorf for years.
Yeah, it was. It was a small thing. When U2 was inducted, it was at the Waldorf.
Isn't that a slap in the face of the city of Cleveland?
You ever been to Cleveland?
Why would they
Cleveland
have it at the
sucks.
Quicken Loans fucking stadium, whatever the fuck it's called?
Oh, where they?
Yeah, it's an awful place. I get it.
No offense to Cleveland. I actually have a lot of friends.
I mean, look, there's a few decent restaurants and a couple sports teams, and then that's it.
You know what's weird about Cleveland?
You can get pierogies there, I guess.
The strangest thing about Cleveland was I did a work event there on a Friday and got up on Saturday, and when I was staying in the city, there was nobody around. And I'm used to living in New York. Yeah, it was a ghost town. It was kind of eerie. You live in New York, and there's people everywhere, and it was just like, ooh, this is strange.
Yeah, I was there, and on a Saturday, Like I walk out of my hotel in Cleveland, and I'm like, where the fuck is everybody? There's no one around.
It's like a refrigerator city. People just go there to grab something and then leave.
I don't even know. I guess so. It's it's a weird place. But
yeah, I hear that a lot
your
about Cleveland.
If your attraction is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? That's your big attraction. Shouldn't you be able to keep the actual induction ceremony?
Oh, you're not gonna
Cleveland?
You're not gonna like this. Leroy Jenkins checking in. Oasis would be on first ballot in the douchebag Hall of Fame.
What's his favorite band?
What's his favorite band?
I think Collective Soul, maybe.
Oh, it's probably Nickelback.
Yeah.
That Collective Soul had that. Oh my God, what garbage music that is.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, though, I will say, it's a great museum. I really enjoyed it. It's beautiful to look at from the outside, and I thought that was the highlight of going to Cleveland. And I will say the other thing about Cleveland is that is a good sports town, man. They love their sports there. They really do.
Oh, John,
I'm actually happy that they won a title for once.
John D. Noodle checking in. Cleveland is closed on the weekends, just like Ottawa, Canada. So that's why you don't see anybody on the weekends. It's closed. That's a throwback to a really old bit we did.
I don't get that. Oh, it's a joke?
Yeah, it's a throwback to like a bit we did in 2004.
My head, I guess.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. But that was our Keith Flint tribute, by the way.
Okay, let's solve this bet. Who's the bigger band? Radiohead, Oasis?
That's a tough one, dude. Right now?
No.
That is Ben's way of saying Radiohead. That's Ben saying Radiohead.
No, I mean, they're both two of my. I love both of them personally. That's a good question. I don't know. I was
Ben.
Take into account Noel's new.
Well, okay, let's look at this. Definitely, maybe, and What's the Story? Morning Glory were both huge albums for Oasis. With Radiohead, the Bends were big. What was the album after that?
Same with Michael Jackson.
Their hits.
No, the OK Computer was big.
Their hits were sporadic.
Yeah, and the thing, my only thing with Radiohead lately, the last couple albums have just become so weird that I'm like, what the hell are they doing? But I mean, they still sell out wherever they go, so they still have a huge. I honestly, I would put them on the same level. I really would.
Look, radio, and talking about, if you're talking about numbers, if you're talking about numbers, all right, Noel Gallagher by himself is selling out Radio City Music Hall. Fucking Liam sold out Central Park.
We're never
It sells out the Garden. They sold out the Garden. Your brother was.
But if they,
Chris,
if Noel Gallagher were with his brother and the Oasis band was reunited, they would sell out any arena.
Last time they were together, they sold out the Garden. I remember
they did. They sold out, and that was a big arena tour for them. Yeah. They sold out everywhere they went.
Yeah, but you're so far up, like Oasis's ass. No one can talk to you differently about Oasis. You can't be open-minded about this band. You cannot be open-minded about this band. You know that.
They were the greatest bands of all time.
They are a great band. But yes, Radiohead is either on par or if not a better band than Oasis.
They're not a better band.
Here's
point. They shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of
Here's
Fame.
point number one. Radiohead is still a band. Oasis is not.
It's two bands. It's even better.
This is horseshit. You see, you can't talk to this kid about the goddamn Oasis. By the way, go ahead.
That concludes our Oasis segment of the show.
Brought to you by British Airways.
Yeah, so Keith Flint of Prodigy died, and he was great. Apparently, he was a pioneer of stuff. I don't even know. I read an article about him. Actually, the New York Times did a write-up on him, and it was kind of like, wow, the New York Times is doing a write-up on Keith Flint. I just knew his name. I never knew that guy's name until he died, which is sad.
I saw them in concert when I was in college, and he was a lunatic. He jumped off the stage with the mic singing Firestarter, ran outside the club, ran up the block. The microphone was like cut out. I'm the Firestarter. And he looked like a psycho.
So are they considered punk rock?
I would say more like a dance.
Like, it was dance, like dance punk or something. Yeah, new wave dance.
My bitch up.
Yeah,
smack my bitch up. Yeah.
That is
breathe the pressure.
Yeah. Smack My Bitch Up is certainly not a song that is widely played on the radio nowadays.
I should dedicate that one to R. Kelly.
Absolutely. And obviously Luke Perry died, which is scary. Which is scary because it was of a stroke. He was 52. He looked in pretty good health.
How you feeling?
And that's very sad. Dylan, yes, we all know Dylan. He made us all wear sideburns, right? Grow sideburns, rock the sideburns.
He's responsible for Rock's mutton chops. That's for sure.
Absolutely, that's where Rock got his mutton chops from, or at least the idea.
Hey, this Luke Perry guy seems to be getting laid all the time. Well, I'm gonna roll my chops too.
The amount of poon that Luke Perry probably fucking encountered in the mid to late 90s or early 90s was incredible. So he had a good life, certainly.
Fuck Kelly. I mean, that's all you gotta. That's all you need to know. Fuck Jenny Garth.
He was. I mean, that show. First of all, I just remember how big that show was.
Gigantic.
And, I mean, he was a good-looking dude, and
Yeah,
he was
shows
the
don't
coolest
get
show.
that big anymore, man.
That show was. That show. I remember it was on when I was in high school. I remember every girl had a picture of him in their locker. It wasn't what's his name that played Brandon,
or on their binders. They would tape it to
they
their.
loved him. It was like, oh man.
Although I did think Jason Priestley was a better looking man.
Jason Priestley.
I was always what is it? The Shannon Doherty. Yeah.
She turned out to be nuts, huh? She went crazy, didn't she?
She went crazy, but she was the feisty one. She was the feisty pale brunette. Apparently has cancer now, which is sad.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus, everybody's dying.
All right, who was the hottest girl on 90210? Who do you think the hottest girl was?
I would go with the pale blonde girl. Is that Jenny
Garth.
Yeah.
Jenny
Kelly.
Garth, yeah.
It was Kelly on this.
Kelly on the show. Although the newspaper girl probably sucks a good D.
Breast implants?
You're not gonna say Tori Spelling, right?
No.
Oh no, it was the other one. Fuck, I screwed.
Who are you talking about?
It was the one that Brian Austin Green, his character dated.
That's what I was gonna say. Tiffany
Amber Thiessen.
Oh,
Yeah,
but she was much later in the.
Yeah, she was an original character, but God, was she hot?
Yeah, but she was like the reason to watch the later seasons of the show. The fucking those titties weren't them.
She was the original Kelly.
Those two dated in real life.
Who?
Brian Austin Green
Oh,
and
yeah,
Tiffany.
yeah,
They
that's
ended
right.
up
Yeah,
dating
they
in
did.
real life.
He used to bag them too, man. He's got a lot of fucking. Wait, isn't he married to somebody famous?
Yeah, he's married to fucking that really hot girl. Brian Austin Green is married. Let me look that up. He's Megan Fox, isn't he?
Is he with Megan Fox? Jesus.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Green.
She probably had posters of him growing up, and now she's married to him or whatever.
Oh my God! Oh, I wrote in Brian Austin Green married to, and then the answer was from Google Megan Fox 2010.
Very good.
Fucking God damn it!
Good for him. I think he
Luke
won.
Perry, I'm sorry, your tribute is going downhill.
I think he won right. He won.
Dylan!
If you say who made out the best,
Fucking Brian Austin Green.
Brian Austin Green.
Yeah.
My God.
Good for him.
God damn.
And he was like the least important character on the show, aside from that Sandra girl.
Sandra, yeah. Oh, God.
That Sandra storyline was oof.
Yeah.
That killed the show in itself. They should have never had her keep going like that.
Prodigy is more like drum bass industrial coming in from John D. Noodle from Germany. There you go.
But if you know, if that show was around today, they would say, "Where's the fucking diversity?"
Yeah, you're
It would
right.
have never lasted.
Right,
There
but
was
then
no
you,
black
then
people on there.
And
Then,
even
yeah.
the reboot didn't last.
that's what you got to do. It's like Beverly Hills. There's no,
For Christ's sake, Kieran. Jesus.
boy.
They would have like a black guest star on once in a while, and like it would be some kind of racial like tone to the show.
Right.
And like Jason Priestley would go out of his way. He was like, "He's black and he's my friend," and he like make sure everybody accepted him. And it's like, oh, like this is so bad.
You guys remember the guy that played the musician? I think he dated the Tori Spelling character. Do you remember
Oh
him?
yeah, that kid had sideburns too.
Yeah, and he
They all
like,
had sideburns.
Yeah, everybody had sideburns. That's true. They all had sideburns.
He had the music career. He was.
How do you talk to an angel? That was
How do
you talk? Yeah, he has a wispy voice.
Yeah.
He was from the Boston area, and he would come in. I would DJ on Thursday nights in Boston, and he would come in, and he would leave every time with a couple girls, no problem. He'd come up with me in the DJ booth, and he'd have a few drinks.
What was
and
your DJ name?
My own name. I never had DJ.
DJ Sparks?
No, Ben. I don't care. Fuck that.
DJ Ben.
cool name. Yeah. But I would announce that he was here, and because they got kind of a light on that. We're up above the crowd, and it would be just a matter of time. It was great for me and my friends. We'd pick up his scraps, it was just like, no problem. And he would come in
by you.
when he wasn't, he would come in quite a bit, and he would always, he'd always do. I was actually a very, very nice guy.
How do you talk to an angel?
Exactly.
Guy was like 18. He sounded like he was 42. That fucking voice. Yeah.
He was struggling to sing that song.
Yeah. And also King Kong Bundy died. 60 years old. Legendary wrestler. I want to point out the fact that Patrick from the Stand put out a Instagram picture of comedian Robert Kelly on his.
Yeah, that's right. I know.
Going R.I.P. King Kong Bundy. It was hilarious.
It did not go over.
I believe I was like the second person to like it because I saw it right away, and I was like, "That's hilarious."
Patrick, and that was not a pleasant conversation.
He was that mad about it?
He was.
Was he?
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Oh God! I actually heard him on the radio talking about it today.
Really?
Robert
On
Kelly
what show?
on it was on Jim and Sam, I think.
And he was talking about Patrick?
Yeah, he said Patrick's name. He's like, "Oh, that's Patrick from the." He gave great plugs to the club and to Patrick.
That's great.
He actually called Patrick a kid, and I was like, he's not a kid.
Yeah, he's a fucking grown man. That's the problem with Robert. He still looks at Pat as like the kid that used to, help him, with his fans and all that shit.
Right.
And he, it's like, no, he's an adult. He made a joke. You're a comedian. You should be able to fucking take it.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have nothing against Robert, but come on, man.
I thought the whole thing was hilarious.
You've known the guy for a long fucking time. You think there was any maliciousness to it? I mean, that's crazy.
I love the fact that we are doing tributes to 3 people who died, and we're not talking shit about any single one of them. I just mentioned the name of the person, then we go off into a tangent about something else. It's fine.
Not even a good wrestler.
No, he was just a fat dude.
A fat guy. Yeah.
Talent in being fat. Really? Who gives a shit?
I mean, once I guess they were looking for big fat guys like Andre the Giant, and the King Kong Bundy was just next. And he had an awful career. Like no one really cared about King Kong Bundy. He had no personality. You watch wrestling. So why are we talking about this?
Leroy Jenkins checking in. What about Pete Davidson and his new chick? Oh, no.
I have to keep shedding light on this because I'm the Pete Davidson expert.
The Beckinsale, man. I can't get over the Beckinsale thing.
Beckinsale likes him young.
Ben, what do you think about the Beckinsale thing? Give me
for Pete. Pete's had a good little run here.
Yeah.
It's a good way to bounce back.
He's on a fucking solid run. It's almost an iconic run. It could be an iconic run.
The funny thing is when Chris and Paul and the guys opened the stand, he was in there and he was coming in years ago.
17.
Yeah, he was coming in, and then next thing I know, I see him on Saturday Night Live. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And this guy blew up fast.
That is exactly my history with Pete Davidson. I saw him as a kid at the stand, and then the next thing I know, he's doing Weekend Update. I'm like, what the fuck happened? What happened here? Yeah.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, he's on a legendary run, Chris. You have to tip the cap.
What's really odd is that Pete used to be really good friends with her ex-boyfriend, Matt Rife, who's also a young guy.
She likes him young.
There's a little weirdness there now, man. There's some fucking, some really strange shit going on. That's all I'm gonna say.
She is a tremendous looking woman for her age.
Oh, she's incredible.
Tremendous.
46 or something like that?
Yeah, she's like 46.
Yeah.
But she likes him young, man. She just likes him young.
Good for her. Good for her. Good for him. Good for everybody. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, yo. Word up.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, we did a lot on today's show. it was nice to see Benjamin Sparks again on the radio.
PJ Sparks.
PJ Sparks. I gotta tell you, I gotta tip the cap, Chris. That was a pleasant surprise having Ben come down to your studio there in New York City.
I announced him to you.
No,
and we did prep.
I think this was perfect. I was definitely when you brought on Derek Gaines that one time, comedian Derek Gaines, and I had no idea who was coming on. I was like, oh, I was like, I don't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to do it because I don't know him at all. But Ben, I love Ben. I love talking to Ben. It was really it was a cool thing.
Give Chris all the credit because he said to me while we were sitting having dinner last night, we're just talking about everything on Sunday. He's like, why don't you come on tomorrow? And I was like, I thought he was talking about going to a comedy show at first. And then I was thinking about it today. He goes, I was like, how are we going to do this? And I got to his office and he goes, here's what we're going to do. We're going to let Kieran start the show. We're going to put the camera on you. And he's going to look up and go, what the fuck?
Right. Yeah.
All right. Give him the credit on that. That was
really good.
Yeah, that was good.
It was really good. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to Ben. Thank you to everybody for checking out in the chat room, the live there. John D. Noodle, Leroy Jenkins, Rock, everybody there. Follow us on Twitter at Lunatic Radio, at Instagram at Lunatic Radio. And subscribe to the show on YouTube. Lunatic Radio across the board. Donate to the lunaticradio.com show by going on our website, lunaticradio.com, and clicking the donate button and donate whatever you want. It'd be great. Be sure to check out the lunaticradio.com show this Sunday, no Friday show, this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern with Rock and whoever else is coming on with us. And that's it, man. This was a fun show. It's a crazy world we live in, people. Fucking Michael Jackson's dead, I know that, but fucking his story is still not finished. And that R. Kelly, fucking peeing on bros. It's gonna be wild ride with R. Kelly. That one ain't done either.
I can't wait to see all the R. Kelly sketches on all the shows.
Oh yeah, on SNL. It's gonna be hilarious. All right, let's give the final word to Benjamin Sparks, the great Ben Sparks. Ben, final word on this Lunatic Radio show. Go ahead.
Good night.
There you go. Later, everybody. Peace.